were not hostile. Because a lot of people think Malcolm X, oh, he was the angry one. Well, look at what he was reacting to. He was compassionate. There were compassionate, responsible young adults. These heroes, these world-renowned leaders were reacting to a very hostile environment. They were reacting to injustice. The years 1955 to 1965 marked the height of the civil rights movement. A 14-year-old boy named Emmett Till was viciously attacked and beaten to death by adult white men who didn't understand history. He was 14 years old. They didn't understand true brotherhood. They didn't understand the concept of humanity, freedom, justice, and liberty for all. They didn't know history. 4 little girls were killed in a church bombing. Medgar Evers was gunned down. Miss Fannie Lou Hamer was a civil rights activist, just a young woman who was savagely beaten with an iron billy club for her activism. And she continued despite all of these beatings. This beating was ordered by a local sheriff. This particular beating that she wrote of, her body going numb, and that during this beating, her dress was rising, revealing her undergarment. And that when she mustered enough strength to pull her dress down, the sheriff pulled her entire dress above her head as the beating continued. And she continued on with her activism. She continued her fight for justice, for all of us to be here today. Goodwin, Schwimmer, and Cheney fought against injustice. And these 3 young men, 2 blacks and 1 white, actually it was 1 black and 2 whites and 1 black, right?
Yes.
I can make a connection here. They were killed by white supremacists. Billie Holiday's song, Strange Fruit, filtered the airwaves. Strange fruit blowing in the wind. Just imagine the trauma that you have to live your life this way. Strange fruit blowing in the wind. The strange fruit to which she referred were hundreds of lynched African-American corpses dangling on tree limbs throughout the South, blowing in the wind. Public lynching were termed picnics where gangs of supremacist groups terrorized helpless young men and women as their children watched the trauma and torture of their black fathers, mothers, brothers, sisters, feeling shamed of their African identity as if their lives were worthless. And government officials unleashed fire hoses and dogs on peaceful, nonviolent, unarmed, protesting citizens. This is a part of our history. And Malcolm X was only in his 20s when he joined the civil rights movement. He campaigned for every breathing human being. He campaigned against institutional racism. He challenged a government that continued political violence against its own citizens. And in the 12 short years immediately preceding my father's martyrdom, El-Hajj Malik Shabazz rose to the defense of African Americans brutalized by discrimination. He challenged white supremacy and racial injustice. He redefined the American civil rights movement to include a human rights agenda. And he worked tirelessly. Because we weren't even considered as human. And he worked tirelessly to unite Africa and the diaspora towards a singular international struggle for freedom and independence, because we didn't understand that we were of African descent. We thought we were Negroes. We thought we were colored. But really, Chinese people go to China, Japanese people go to Japan, Greek people can go to Greece, Italians to Italy. Negroes, where do Negroes go? Negro land, colored land, black land. So he gave us our identity. Malcolm X accepted the mantle of leadership in the human rights struggle because he understood the oneness of humanity. that we are all brothers and sisters in the family of God.